Hey crafty friends, it's Kelly here with Kelly Crafts It All. Today I thought I would bring you a tutorial on some really cute bows. I don't know, I just wanted to make some bows. Don't mind my glue strings. But I thought, I had made some and they turned out really cute. And I made them on my Cricut. And those look like these and they turned out really pretty. And I just love them. But not everybody has a Cricut and not everybody has the dies. So I thought today I would bring you a bow with no machines, no dies, just some paper and some scissors and maybe a paper trimmer if you have it. If not, it's not a big deal. Get you a ruler. We're gonna do this. Alright guys, let's make some bows. I'm gonna move these aside. Alright, so what I'm starting off with is I have a 3x3 inch square piece of red chipboard, not chipboard, Lord, it's been a minute since I've done a tutorial, so I don't know what my products are. Cardstock. You don't want a real heavy cardstock. 65 pounds is about as high as I would go, and you don't want it paper thin either, but it's about, I have 65 pounds, so that's what I'm using. I need my scissors and my little 3x3 square. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to real quick just fold this point to point, make it look like a triangle. Now if you want to put this in a scoreboard and be real precise, you are more than welcome, but I'm trying to make this as simple as I can for maybe people just starting out that don't have all the fancy tools. If you don't have a bone folder, it's no big deal. Go get you a butter knife. That's what I started out with, a good old butter knife. And I burnished my paper with that, or the other end of it. Any old thing will do. You don't have to have all the fancy schmancy tools when you're first starting out. Just your finger even will burnish it really good. So that's it. So we folded it one way, then I turned it around and folded it the other way, so you should have 4 triangles. So tip to tip, unfold that, rotate it, and do that way. And that's all there is to that. So once we get that cut, or get that folded, we're going to cut. Now the first cut I like to make is one, I just cut one triangle completely out. And that will leave me with 3 triangles. Now this isn't going to look real fancy pretty, and don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. It's all going to be okay. The next, then I like to turn it around or toward me, and I like to cut up, and I like to stay about a 1/4 inch away from the center. And I'm going to do that on both sides, staying a 1/4 inch away from that middle. Now, you'll have something that looks like this, and you're going to have this little flap. Where you cut up to, I like to just cut straight up and cut that little triangle out. And I'm just cutting straight up to where I had that cut. I said it doesn't have to look fancy or pretty. Just going to trim that a little bit. And if you don't have a hot glue gun, you can use your wet glue. It shouldn't hurt anything. And then what I like to do, that's all there is to this, is I like to go in here and with some bone folder or a knife or even just your scissors, you can go in here and get some longer scissors. You can go in here. Matter of fact, I kind of like my scissors better. I get a little bit better curl. It breaks those fibers down just a little bit better. Just like that. And then we have this little piece, and this is I'm going to use to stabilize the center of my bow, and I'm just going to fold it over, and I'm just going to keep wrapping that around till I run out. And like I said, this doesn't have to be pretty on the middle because we're going to cover that all up. And I'm going to get my glue gun out. Don't mind my glue gun tip. It's been well loved. I've had this thing for a little while. My husband bought it for me because he stole my mini glue gun. So he went and bought me a new glue gun, and he bought me this bigger one. Alright, so that's how we do that. So it should look like this. And now where your curls are going in, on each end, you're going to put a little dollop of glue, and I'm going to fold this in, and kind of make it in this edge match, and I'm just going to kind of fold that in there to the middle. And don't crease it, just leave it bent. Now, back in the day when I was a kid, my mom made bows with ribbon. She didn't make paper bows. She made ribbon bows. But she made one similar to this, and she called it a Stacy bow. They call these butterfly bows, I guess now, because it kind of was in the shape of a butterfly. But I just call it a bow. But to me, it's like a Stacy bow, kind of. You get that little slit. So, and you can use these bows for anything. Use them for embellishments, to give away. You can put these on packages. But I'm trying to come up with ideas for folks that are starting out. I know when I first started out, I didn't have all this fancy tools. I didn't have bone or dies, and I didn't have a Cricut yet, and I struggled to be able to make cute things without all that fancy schmancy stuff. Now if you squeeze this and I'm going to leave that one for just a minute, get it in there. The closer you go in, the tighter your line is. So you might want to pay a little bit of attention to it. It's not really a big deal. Like I said, we're going to cover most of this up anyway. Alright, so that's the beginning of our bow. Simple, easy, and quick. Now you could stop right here if you wanted to. And you could cut yourself maybe like a little 3/4 of an inch piece of paper. I'm not the straightest cutter in the world. I'm going to tell you that right now. If it wasn't for paper trimmers, and even sometimes them I can't cut straight. You could take this and just kind of do that and wrap that around there. If you wanted to give yourself some tails, you could, and you could stop right there. That's even a cute little bow. But we're going to take it a little bit further, and we're going to dress ours up. Now, I have a piece cut here. This is, again, 65-pound cardstock. I'm going to set our little red bow aside. And I'm making mine in like a Santa theme. You can do these in any color you want. Now this is just a 1-inch piece by the length of the paper, which is 8.5. It doesn't have to even be that long. It's up to you. And I'm just going to fold that in half, and we're going to make a different bow now. I'm just going to fold that in half. Okay, on the side that's folded. Now I'm going to get a pencil. And you don't have to do it with a pencil. You can just freehand it. That's how I've been doing them. I need to find my pencil. There it is. Right on that fold where we folded that, right in the center, you want to have at least about a 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to mark that with my pencil. I'm going to have it about just like that. The length doesn't matter really. It's up to you how big you want your bow. Now I start where I put those 2 little marks, and I just kind of come in. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in, and I'm going to draw it out a little bit here, and I just kind of curve it in, curve it out, and then I just kind of trail it off like that. And then I just do the same thing on the opposite side, just kind of mirroring it. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. By the time you get this all folded up, and I've been just freehanding mine. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut in on that line that I made, and then I'm going to curve it up, and I'm going to curve it around. And the longer you make it, the bigger your bow is. So And pay attention to that. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to snip this off just willy-nilly, just leaving myself a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of mirror that as best as I can. If you want it a little wider, you can go wider too. But, yeah, that's my bow. And yeah, it looks ugly, but it's going to be alright. So, I like to decorate mine a little bit. So, I went in and I just cut myself a 1/8 inch piece of paper. And I'm just going to take mine and run me a bead of glue. You could kind of measure it first. Measure it down to the end of my bow there. I'm just going to run a little bit of glue on that strip. Just like so. Like I said, if you don't have a bone folder, don't worry about it. Get the edge of your scissors even and just work that down. Now I have some glue smudges and I'm just rubbing them out. Okay, so that's ready to go. Like I said, now with your scissors again, you come in here and we're going to curl this up a little bit. I'm going to curl this side up a little bit. And then what we're going to do is just these ends here. Now, mine are a little bit long, so I'm going to trim a little bit off. I don't have them that long. And what you're going to do is you're going to take those little tiny tails you made, and you're going to push those to the middle and make a bow. And see, like it said, it looked pretty ugly, but it's going to be cute when we're done. And we're not fussing around with dies or a machine. We're just going to sit and do them by hand, which is kind of nice if you wanted to take some pile of paper and your scissors and maybe pre-cut some of your stuff or whatever. You sit in front of the TV and make little bows. And I'll just kind of try to match them up so they're a little bit even without getting that all over my finger. And there we go. See how cute? It's going to be fine. Even Oliver said it's cute. He's our dog. And then what you want to do is you want to find yourself a middle. And I don't know, this is probably about a 1/4 inch or a little bit more. I put a little double-sided tape on mine. You don't have to. Just use some glue. And what I'm going to do, but I put double-sided tape on mine. But you're just going to lay it in the middle there. And wrap that around and wrap it around. Figure out where you need to trim it a little bit. Like I said, I have double-sided tape on mine. You can hot glue it on, wet glue it. I'm just going to center that in that bow there. I'm going to wrap that around. Still have mine a little long. Just like so. And then that little piece that I had left over, I'm just going to stab a little glue on it. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see even if the glue's coming out. I'm getting clogged up. I guess I did have some glue on there, but anyhow, I just dab a little glue on it. Then I'm going to take this little piece and I'm going to lay it in here and make it look like, you know, the ribbon's running through. It's just easier to work with that little piece if you put glue on it first. Then I just go in here with my scissors. Get the goopy stuff off. And then I'll just kind of trim it off a little bit. And there we have that part of the bow. So now we can take this part that we made and we can hot glue it, or wet glue, whatever you have, in the middle of the red bow. I'm trying to get my hot glue out of the way. Just like that. Now you can leave it at this. You don't have to have tails. You can have those, and that would be even cute. But if you want to add some tails, just grab myself 2 pieces of red, or whatever color you want, whatever color you're doing yours, and they're about 3/4 of an inch wide by however long, just so they're long enough to make your tails. And you can dress those up. You can take some, I have some black here, and once again I'm just going to run a bead of glue down it. I'm just going to use my fingers there for a minute, and I'm just going to take this. You don't have to go all the way to the top, really. If you want you can, but you don't have to. And I'm just going to put that right straight in the middle, snip it off. And I think I'm a little short. I thought that was long enough. But she's not. So. Just cut me another little sliver. And if you're, you know, really good at gluing, and you can get yourself a fine line of glue down the middle, you can do it that way too. It's a little easier. Just like that. And then I just like to take mine and I just kind of set mine kind of like this at a, you know, an angle. And I'll lay my bow on here and decide how long tails I want and how I want my tails to be. Do I want them in? Do I want them to come out more? You know, it's up to you, however you like your tails. And I kind of like mine like that. And then I'm just going to hold that down a minute. I'm going to shoot a little glue there. Like so. And then this is going to go back behind here. So you might need to trim your top off a little bit. What I like to do is where I'll just kind of make it into a point. Like that. And then I'll put that up there and see where I'm at. And if I have a whole lot sticking, I'll just kind of mark it with my finger. And then I'll just trim that straight off. And if you, however you want to do your tails, you can dovetail them. That's not my favorite, but if you wanted to dovetail them, what you would do is you'd have your tail, and I just cut up probably about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and then I just take my scissors and go from point to my cut, point to my cut, and that would give you that dovetail look. But I like just the old-fashioned slice it off. And if you want, if you're, you know, particular, you can take that piece, flip it over, and use it as a template to cut your other tail. And then I'm just gonna smack some glue on there. Push that on there, and there you go. Look at that. I thought these were just so cute. Trying to keep my glue off of there. And there you go. You have a bow that doesn't require a die machine or a cutting machine and whatnot. Now, where I kind of cut mine, my glue, I cut into my glue, so you might have to run a little extra dab of glue in there. And then if you're really particular, you could cut like a circle out or a square and cover the back up. To me, it doesn't look that bad, so I'm not worried about it. And you can put these on your packages, you know, make them up and give them away as some embellishments for swaps or whatnots. And yeah, so, and if your little red ones kind of get a little flat, you could take a pencil and put it in here. Just kind of fluff it up a little bit. Oh, Oliver, my goodness. He's talking this morning. I'll just kind of push it and it'll help pop that out, but it doesn't look too bad to me. And just fiddle with them. You just gotta fiddle with them till you get them where you like them, just like any bow. You know, whether you're making a fabric bow or whatnot. So there you go. How's that? Alright, there we go. We have some cute, simple little Christmas bows to put on packages or to give away as embellishments, or make your own embellishments to do whatever you would like. So there you go, is a quick tutorial on a bow so that you don't have to use a cutting machine or a die. And I'm gonna try to do more tutorials like this. I kind of find them fun and relaxing to cut the paper by hand. Really. So, but yeah, if you do have the Cricut, it's under bows. I just typed in bow and I got like a double looped bow and then a single bow, and I think they were like pink and white. And then I just, you know, put them on some cardstock and made a little bag and a bag topper, which was in my Cricut as well. So yeah, if you want to see the tutorial on the Cricut one, let me know down in the comments below. You know, and anytime you want to know more information, or if you're looking for links or something, always check my description box. If you click that show more, or I think on your iPad or on your phone there's like a little arrow pointing down. If you click on that, it'll have show more, and then it'll have a list of things in my description box. Alright guys, I'm out of here, and I hope you go make yourself some bows, and let me know in the comments, you know, what you want to see. If there's something, you know, tutorials that you're interested in that you're having a hard time following maybe, or you've thought of something but you just don't know how to get it to work, to go together or something, let me know. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Take care, stay safe. Remember, I love each and every one of you. And hit that like and subscribe and share my videos. And thank you to the ones who are subscribed and been following and leaving comments. Thank you so much. I love your comments. I love to read them. Don't always get to reply to them if it's not working, but I do read them. And if you're, you know, happen to stumble across my video, hit that subscribe button and stay with me for a while. I really enjoy having you in my crafty family, and I thank you guys so much for everything. And if you've left my channel, well, I don't know what to tell you, but you're the one missing out. So come back. Alright guys, bye bye.